Welcome to Rise Up and Heal, the podcast that helps you reclaim your worth, rewrite your story, and heal forward. On today's episode, I'm super excited because I have the beautiful Jackie Thomson, who is not only a Heal Your Life coach, but she is also a Hypno Coach and a Reiki Master and Teacher. Jackie is also the author of an upcoming book, which she is going to share with us throughout the episode, which I'm very excited to hear. And today, Jackie comes to us to share her story. Jackie, thank you so much for joining Rise Up and Heal. It is such an honor to have you here with us today. Can you please share your story?
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much for having me, and thank you for the opportunity. Well, we all have one, don't we? We all have a story. And for some people, it's just a few short chapters, but for others, it's a great long novel. And I think I probably fit into that category. I've been around for a while, um, so where do I start? I suppose if I start with, I actually ran a very different business for 30 odd years before I started this. So I came to this in my 50s.
Wow.
Okay. So, and it was a complete change. And what prompted it was a complete life change. I'd been, um, I was divorced from my first husband, who is my kid's dad, after abuse. I got married again, thought he was the one, as you do. Um, Found out 7 years later he'd been unfaithful the whole time we were married. And I'd also taken him into partnership with me in the business. And that didn't work out because there was no business at the end of it. So basically, I just walked away. I walked away from him. I walked away from everyone and everything I knew,
Wow.
the business I'd built up,
Wow.
and moved a couple of 100 miles away to where I was in a completely different place. Didn't know anybody. Nobody knew me. So it was a real fresh start. And I fell into a spiritual circle
That's
quite by chance. And I'd been spiritual as a child, but it wasn't accepted, shall we say. You
okay.
know, the fact that I saw a circus in my bedroom at 5 years old and tried to tell my dad about it was, oh, don't be silly. What a load of rubbish.
Wow.
And, I'd obviously grown up with this,
Yeah.
not really feeling good enough.
Yeah.
So when I fell into this spiritual circle, I found it quite hard to let go and be me.
Yeah.
But I just had to do something. I couldn't sit. I'd lived on my own, on the top floor of a beautiful building. But, if I didn't make the effort, I didn't see anybody, didn't talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And I stuck with it. And I went to a workshop and I discovered Louise Hay's teachings. Now, I'd seen the book and, it
Yeah.
was, yeah, it was an okay book, but it didn't mean much.
Yeah.
But at this workshop, I started to see how
Yeah.
it just was meant for me. And over the next, I don't know, 6 months, I suppose, no, maybe a bit longer than that, probably a year, I trained in Reiki. I became a teacher. I started running workshops of my own.
Wow.
And I thought, why haven't I done this years and years ago?
Yeah.
And then fast forward a little bit, and I went to a workshop in London. I couldn't afford to go, but I knew I had to go. And that was where I met Mark, my current husband.
Oh.
He's number three, but he's the only one that accepts me for who I am.
Yeah.
And let's face it, none of us are perfect.
No.
So, you know, um, And he's also, obviously, because I met him at a spiritual workshop, he's in the spiritual field.
Yeah.
And I'd known him for ages, and it took somebody else to tell us that we were in a relationship. You know, we were just friends, but hey, that's another story completely.
That.
And I ended up, I don't know how, I still don't know how, but I ended up doing the Louise Hay workshop leader training.
Yeah.
And I remember how. It was because we met somebody else on the workshop that we were on,
Yeah.
and she was a newly qualified Heal Your Life teacher. And because I'd built up a little audience in Somerset where I was, she said, "Will I come? Can I come and run a workshop with you?
Yeah.
And you know, you can take the workshop as well, but I need a tissue angel." So I was her tissue angel,
Oh, I love that.
and I just fell in love with the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah.
So Mark and I went and did the training,
That's so good.
and we started running workshops together
Yeah.
because why not?
Yeah.
We then trained as a coach, and I've been coaching ever since. And then about 4 or 5 years ago now, we decided to bring hypnotherapy into the mix because it was something a little bit different
Yeah.
for our clients.
Yeah.
And I took to that like a duck to water. But my inner child had benefited so much from all this Louise Hay work
Yeah.
that I wanted to share it and covered it in hypnotherapy, but it was clinical hypnotherapy. So there was less of the focus on the spiritual.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring in that spirituality of the Heal Your Life work. So I started to experiment. And 5 years later, here I am. I've just written a book, and I almost all of my clients now end up having inner child work because they're naturally attracted.
Yeah.
Because I can't stop talking about it. Because you know, you it's my thing, if you like.
But it's such an important tool. And I think, this is definitely something that I also love with Louise's work that, especially when you start to do the workshops and even for yourself when you run the workshops with your clients, like I know for me, I am still learning stuff about myself, you know, even when your clients are learning and they're growing and they're going through stuff, it's like, oh, but that inner child work is so it's just key to so many things. And I think also as well, like if we go back into our childhoods and we look at that particular era that we were born, I mean, who would have thought that we'd be doing this now? Because back then there was you didn't talk about this stuff. Like you said, you could see things at such a young age and it was taboo, it was shut down. And it's been like that for a long time until I guess more recently to a certain degree where these things are now actually being talked about and people's gifts. Each and every person brings something to the table. We all have a gift to bring. And sometimes we don't understand those gifts, and that's okay. But each and every one of us brings something. And it's so beautiful when we can all get together and we can all talk about this and that we can say, well, you know what? This was me. I mean, you could have quite easily, with everything that you have been through, gone, you know what? I'm absolutely done. I'm just gonna go. Like you said, like you fully ended up, especially after that second marriage, of just packing up. Like you fully packed yourself up and you moved out of the area. I mean, that is courageous. That is so brave just to do that, because a lot of people would potentially just feel broken and go, you know what? Well, I'm just going to go get a full-time job, and I'm just going to stay here and just do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what made you go, you know what? I'm out. Like, what was it for you?
I knew I was worth more.
That's so good.
Basically, I had nothing. There was
Yeah.
nothing left. Um, and I didn't feel, I didn't want to stay where I was.
Yeah.
I didn't particularly like where I lived. And there were reasons for moving there.
Yeah.
And I have to say, through all of this, my children came out that they're amazing human beings. They've been through a lot with me,
Yeah.
but they have all grown so much, and it makes me feel quite emotional to think about
Yeah.
what they've done despite all of this.
Yeah.
And I guess I didn't want to go back to where I'd lived before.
Yeah.
And I could have done that. I knew
Yeah.
people there, I'd got family there.
Yeah.
But that would have taken me back into what was before.
Yeah.
And I needed something different. I needed something that was right for me.
Yeah.
And my children were all grown up. They'd left home.
Yeah.
Well, my youngest was at university, but that was, they were basically
Yeah.
independent.
Yeah.
And it just felt right. And I'd always wanted to live by the sea.
Wow.
And I thought, well, why not?
Yeah.
I can do that. I can go anywhere.
Yeah.
So I ended up in Somerset. I was by the motorway, so I could get to my family easily. They could get to me. Um, but I literally lived across the road from the beach.
That's so cool.
And you can imagine how long I spent. And if I walked from my end, as I called it, right down to the other end and back again, it would take a couple of hours.
Oh, wow.
And that was my break every lunchtime. Whatever the weather,
Wow.
you know, sand dermabrasion is pretty good.
Wow.
The wind with no sand. So, and I grew to, I'd always loved the sea. I don't like being in it.
Yeah.
Happy to be on it in a big boat, but
Yeah.
I didn't like to be in it apart from my feet. I'll always stick my feet in.
Yeah.
But it was watching, I could see the bay from my window.
Wow.
So I could see whatever the weather.
Wow.
And the power, even when it's calm, it still has that power. And I thought, that's what I need to be like. And I hadn't really been in my own power
Yeah.
as long as I could remember.
Yeah.
I remember as a teenager, I took an exam and I got 98% in this exam.
Wow.
And my dad, love him, he never meant anything maliciously, but he said, why didn't you get 100?
Oh, babes.
And and although it was sort of passed off as he knows you're capable of doing that,
Yeah.
and yeah, maybe I was, but I was quite pleased with
Oh,
98%.
oh, oh my gosh. I would be super stoked if I got 98%. Like, that's
Yeah.
fantastic.
And it didn't stick with me at the top of my mind, but every time I did something, it was there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
I don't know enough. I'm not strong enough.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I made that break that I learned that actually I am good enough. And I started to stand in my own power. And when I started writing this book, it was only a few months ago, and it was it was quite funny, really. I had a bit of a health issue, and I had to step back from seeing clients. And I thought, what am I going to do with my time? All right, I'm not physically very able, but my brain's still working.
Yeah.
And the opportunity came up to work with a group of people to write a book. And I thought, I've had this book in my mind since I made that life change. I thought my life story,
Yeah.
the roller coaster of life, would be an interesting way for people to see that we're all the same. We
Yeah.
all have these issues.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
how I healed, and I say healed
Yeah.
because we're all still healing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's a journey,
Yeah, it is a
you
journey.
know, and I don't ever want to get to the destination
No.
because, that's it, isn't it? Really, there's nothing after that.
No. Yeah.
So, yeah, it was just, I could write a book. And I
That's
started writing a book and I got halfway through it and I thought, this is great, but I'm speaking at the UK Hypnosis Convention in November.
wow.
And I want to do another book with this same subject, inner child healing,
Yeah.
but for hypnotherapists, incorporating it in a more
Yeah. Okay.
spiritual way.
Yeah.
And although I'm a clinical hypnotherapist,
Yeah.
it didn't have the same feel about it. And I thought, I've got all this experience, I've got my own experience. I work with clients with this all the time. So I changed tack and I started writing the book for hypnotherapists. So that will be out soon. And then the one for everybody else for their own healing journey will be out in September. So
So
it's already half there.
So we've got two books coming
We've
out.
got two books.
That is fantastic. And I love that you have gone and made that choice and made that decision for yourself. Like you said, you've gone through this health issue, but your mind is still very active. So you're like, you know
Yeah.
what? Well, what can I do? Actually, this is the time and the opportunity for me to now do this. And I think that's the beautiful thing, isn't it? Is that sometimes when we have challenges that come up like this, then it's about getting there and going, all right, but what else can I do? What
Yeah.
else could I to help others, or what else can I do to help myself? And just for writing the book, it becomes quite therapeutic, even for yourself, as well as going, you know what, I'm doing this with the intention to help others, but it also becomes like a bit of a therapy thing for yourself as well, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And with any form of healing,
Yeah.
while we're helping others heal,
Yeah.
because even though we're healers, we don't heal anyone.
No.
They heal themselves. We just guide them and give them the tools
Yeah.
and and the space. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
And whenever we are helping others heal, we are healing ourselves too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because like you said, it's a lifelong journey. We're continually, it doesn't matter how far maybe down the path in that you are, there is still even things that are always going to come up that will trigger us, that will go, oh, oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. Okay, so this has come up for me. All right. Well, we need to explore this. We need to really to really look at that. And I guess the beautiful thing too, when it comes to the healing and when it comes to changing things around, it doesn't matter how old you are. I think that's one of the best things that I love about Louise was that she opened Hay House when she was like what 60 or in her 60s. She was doing ballroom dancing in her 80s. She was learning to paint and had an art gallery in also I think that was in her 70s, and that like she was always, like she said, like this lifelong learner. So I guess for anybody and for everybody, when you're feeling that the world is against you, when you are facing such challenging times, that just know that there are people like Louise, there are people like yourself, Jackie, who are going, you know what? I'm turning it around. I am
Yeah.
claiming my power back. And I love too how you said that you also use the ocean to really help you with that as well as one of your healing tools. Mother Nature is incredible in helping you heal. Yeah, she's also
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, after Somerset, when I met Mark and we eventually got married, I actually moved to London, and
Oh,
it was great. I
yeah.
I loved London. I was born in London. I never lived there until I married Mark, but
Wow.
um, but it got to the point where everything was so frenetic all the time.
Yeah.
And we made the decision after, well, during lockdown, that my mum should come and live with us
Yeah.
because she was on her own. She was okay,
Yeah.
but, you know, and because my family were all moving away from near her. So she really was truly on her own.
Oh, wow.
So we said, well, let's invite her to come and live with us, um, which she does now. But in doing that, she didn't want to live in London, and I could well understand that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So we decided we'd move, and we've ended up in North Wales, which is again a couple of 100 miles from where she lived. But again, we're on the coast,
Oh,
and we can't. Oh, I can see the sea from one bedroom,
yeah.
but we're close enough. We are literally
That
5 minutes from the beach.
that's so good.
And it's and in fact we have choice because we're on like a bit of a peninsula, and we live on that side, and there's a beach that side as well. There's a huge
Oh,
holiday
wow.
town. So,
Oh,
and we're just on the edge of that, and it's absolutely wonderful, to come back to the coast again.
yeah.
And the well, the week, I suppose, after we moved in, we get a lot of storms here.
Yeah,
We
okay.
do get a lot of storms,
Yeah.
usually about November time.
Okay.
And the November after we moved in, we drove up to the beach just up the road, and we sat in the car and we watched the waves rolling in. And I've got a video of it, and I've posted it on Facebook a couple of
Okay.
times now because it was
Yeah.
just absolutely, it's amazing. And
Yeah.
it's just that constant. Every time I go for a walk, I take a little video because it's different every time we go over there.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful, whether it's calm or
Yeah.
whether it's windy or just the waves rolling in, or whether they're really stampeding in, it's wonderful. So
And
yeah,
but it's good.
nature.
Yeah, because it's good because it's empowering you. Like, and you
Mm.
can, and you know what? And I think this is one of the things also, because I'll also say to my clients, create a list of things that bring you joy. What lights you up? What makes you brings a smile to your face? And I love it because when you're talking about the ocean, when you're talking about being down there and seeing that, like your whole face is lighting up, like you can just feel it. And I think it's so important just it doesn't have to be anything huge. It doesn't have to be anything really expensive. It can just be enough just every single day, just going down and putting your feet in the water or walking on the sand or standing and putting your hand on a tree or just watching the birds, but just bringing yourself back into sort of nature and just allow yourself to try to become calm and to become centered and just yeah, it really is an amazing healing tool to do that.
It is, and we are so blessed here
Yeah.
because we not only have the sea, but we have the mountains.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
So, we have the best of both worlds there.
Yeah, that is so cool. And I love it too, because I do quite a like grounding, going out there with feet, bare feet on the ground and just really just sometimes really grounding myself
Yeah.
just to help, just to center. So yeah.
Mm.
And how important do you feel or do you think it is now, like especially looking back over your journey? To like really listening to your intuition and that inner guide, like how important is that to you now?
it's everything.
Yeah.
I don't do anything. Well, I must do something, as I suppose, without going inside, but I don't do anything important.
Yeah.
Um, I I think I always have done
Yeah.
to an extent, but I was very good at shutting it down before.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now I really listen,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the inner child thing is, I've made so many realizations of why, you know, why why did I let my first husband abuse me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I'm not. Let me clarify with that as well, because I don't resent it.
Yeah.
I've forgiven him.
Yeah.
Um, but there must have been a reason why I let it happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And looking back, I can see why.
Yeah.
Because I was afraid to speak out.
Yeah.
I was a people pleaser.
Yeah.
I would keep everybody happy,
Yeah.
the usual, the
Yeah.
usual things.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize any of that until I made that break.
Yeah.
And I started to do that inner work properly
Yeah.
and not covertly when I thought I'd get away with it.
Yeah.
I read cards, and I don't do it in a big way, but and in fact, that's how Mark and I met,
Yeah.
because we went to a Doreen Virtue.
Oh, wow. That is so cool. I've got her cards too. I
Yeah,
love the cards. Yes.
yeah,
And Colette Baron reads. I've got her oracle cards. I do them every night. So
yeah,
yeah, I'm with you.
yeah,
I love the cards. Yes.
yeah. I have a fairly large library of card decks,
That's right.
um, but I got cards that I'd never got out for
Yeah.
years and years and years. And when I thought back, I'd bought them as a young teenager.
Oh,
And
wow.
I can't remember where I'd got them from.
Yeah.
There must have been some outlet somewhere, or maybe it was a market stall or something. I don't know. I don't remember. But even back then, there was that curiosity, I suppose. And they meant nothing. They really,
Yeah.
they meant nothing. So they sat tucked away,
Yeah.
but I never had the courage to get them out. But, once I made that break, falling into that
Yeah.
circle, and I did attend a circle. I've done it. I was like a kid in a sweet shop. I've done the mediumship, I've done all the spiritual connection and the angels, and I've taught angel workshops.
I love it.
So, and I guess, and there's a lot of it round here.
Yeah.
There's a lot I could go to. I just don't have the time
Yeah.
because I'm too busy enjoying my life.
But that's what it's all about too, isn't it? Is
Yeah,
enjoying your life, being happy. Like
yeah,
that is the biggest thing. And we are the ones who have control over that. We are the ones who have the power. Like it's interesting, and especially as people pleasers, how we easily give that power away because we do want to keep the other person or the other people happy. And it can be quite a, I want to say, shock, because when you start setting boundaries, because as soon as you start to do that, it's sort of like a bit like, oh my, I just I just did that? Like
yeah,
what? Uh, really? Like, wow. And I even find now that I'm doing things that, like, if I had have said, honestly, I'd be like, the old Annie would have been like, oh, no, look, I'll just keep the peace. I'll go and do that. Now I'm like, you know what? I am not going to go out of my way to talk to somebody if I don't feel comfortable around them, or if I don't feel that they've been a very nice person to me, why am I going to put myself in that? I'm not. So I don't.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
interesting that how all of a sudden it's like you just flick that switch and then you're like, oh, oh, look at me go.
And isn't it liberating
Yes.
that first time that you say no?
Yes.
No
Yes.
reason, no explanation, just no.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. And you
Yeah.
just go, you know what? Okay, you do you, boo. That's okay.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm just going to say no. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels good.
It does. It absolutely does. Yeah.
Especially after so many times going, yes, oh, how let's keep this person happy. But you really do. It's amazing. Like I look back now and I go, oh my gosh, like I can just see how easily manipulated I was.
Oh
Like you
yeah.
can just see it, can't you? You're like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And or somebody is nice to you,
yeah,
and makes you feel special,
yeah,
and then it turns out it's all a sham and a lie, and
yep,
and you think, okay,
yeah,
and you get angry and hurt and all of that sort of thing, and then you think, well, I think now
yeah,
that was just as much my fault because I let it happen.
yeah. Yeah. The relationship wouldn't have lasted as long as it did if we didn't allow that to happen. And I guess the thing is though, especially like when you've got children and when you're not sure of yourself and you do not believe in yourself, then you don't believe that you sort of deserve any better. You just sort of go, oh well, this is sort of my life
Yeah.
now. This is how it is. And I think the other thing is it's becoming a lot more prevalent, and which I love, is that people really are sharing their stories and they're advocating not only for themselves, but they're advocating for everybody else because it's so important for people to be
Yeah.
talking about this, to go, you know what? This is not okay. None of this is okay. Like it's not.
Yeah.
And especially, and I love when you were saying before, like you've completely forgiven the past, you've completely forgiven him because it no longer holds anything over you anymore. Like it's just, it's
Yeah.
done. Doesn't mean to say that you need to sit around and sing Kumbaya and have a Sunday roast. It just means that you've sort of let it go.
Yeah. Well, we didn't have a Sunday roast, but we had a wedding feast.
Okay.
When my daughter got married, and she said to me, I don't think I can invite Dad.
Okay.
And I said, why? And she just looked at me and I said, it won't be a problem for me, I promise you.
Yeah.
And I said, if it's a problem for him, then he won't come.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, but he's your dad.
Yeah.
I always made sure that they weren't kept from him.
Yeah.
It was their choice.
Yep.
And as they grew up, they saw less and less of him anyway.
Yeah.
But I said, this is a big day for you.
Yeah.
If you want to invite him, I have no problem.
Yeah.
So she sort of said, well, I don't think I just won't tell him. And I said, he'll find out.
Yeah.
How's he not going to find out?
Exactly. Yeah.
And she thought about it, and I could see she was worried about it, but I think she trusted me enough, and she did invite him. And when they saw, and not just them, but the whole family really, when they saw him and his wife and me and Mark sitting having a conversation, everybody relaxed
Yeah. Yeah.
because, and it was just a
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
Um, and we were talking about, the people that I'd known when I was with him and who were still around, who'd died, who'd got married, all of this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it was very pleasant. And then just a couple of years ago, my son got married, and it was a really hot day and we were all sitting outside. And he actually made a beeline and came and sat with us
Wow, that's cool.
and his wife. And, it was fine. And
Yeah.
my mum was, yeah, my mum wasn't at my son's wedding, but she was at my daughter's. And he was talking to her as though,
Yeah.
it was just a friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the power of forgiveness.
Yeah. It is. Yeah.
And I wouldn't say, oh, I'm coming your way, can I drop in for a coffee?
Yeah.
That's it's not that level,
No.
but it's powerful stuff,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm so grateful for Louise Hay
Oh,
for
me.
bringing it all to my life.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Her teachings are absolutely incredible. They really are. And it's
Yeah,
amazing just how instrumental that her work has been. I mean, not only just for you and I, but just for everybody else. And also the other, I mean, we get to work with these amazing people who have also done the coaching that we have done, who are out there and doing and teaching her work. And I think it's so incredibly beautiful. And I'm honestly extremely grateful every single day that I get to do what I do because of her, and also because of ourselves. We also we took the leap of faith to put ourselves to where we are now. And I think that's also the power of that too, is just really getting there and just claiming what you want and going and doing what really feels good for you, because this is what it's all about. Everything is all for you, and it's about you feeling good within you. So I love that too.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. We're so lucky.
beautifully put.
Thank you. It's beautiful. Now, Miss Jackie, if people want to buy your books, where will they, have we got an idea as to where they'll be able to purchase these books, or can they visit your website? How can they find you? Can you please share how people can get in touch with you?
Oh, so many ways. So many
I
ways.
love it.
Okay, the book will be on Amazon. Well, it's going on Amazon UK, but presumably it will
Yeah.
eventually be available worldwide. Um, I will put details on my website or Facebook and Facebook and LinkedIn and all of those things. Um, my website is jackiethomson.com, all one word with no P.
Okay. No P. That's right. It's just THOMSON.
That's right. And JACKIE.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Um, and you can find me on Facebook as Jackie Thomson.
Yep.
Or if you find Jackie Thomson Hypno Wellbeing, that's my page. I have to be honest, I don't use that as much
Okay.
because I'm more of a people person and I just post.
Yeah.
If you find my profile, I have all sorts on there. Yes, I have all about the business
Yep.
side of me, but
Yep.
there's pictures of the beach and
Beautiful.
and all of that sort of thing as well, and the family and
Nice.
you know,
That's really
um,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I am out there,
Yeah.
um, and yeah, just send me a message.
Beautiful.
Annie has my
I
messenger, so
absolutely. And I will absolutely be putting the links for how everybody can reach you. Once we put the podcast up there, I will definitely do that. And I'll also add those links on the Facebook stuff so people can see that as well. And yeah, I will definitely get them to do that. And then as soon as your book comes out, then I will also put that up in the Facebook and the Instagram and all of those socials so everybody can find your book as well.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Jackie. It has been so beautiful having you on here today, just chatting with me, sharing your story, how you've turned your life around, the things that bring you joy, the importance of doing the work that you do, and how it lights you up. Honestly, what a beautiful, brave, courageous soul that you really are. So thank you so much.
I'm just me.
I love that.
And
Just
a
who I
different me, obviously,
am.
to 20 years ago. But yeah,
Yeah. And it's so important. And that's where it's so empowering is when you really do start to do the things for yourself that it makes all the difference. And especially when you've been such a chronic people pleaser to all of a sudden go, you know what? No, actually, this is what lights me up. Actually, this is what I feel like doing. Oh, I'm gonna do this. And it really is honoring yourself. So yeah, it's
yeah.
beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you
Thank you.
to everybody. Thank you so much for listening to the Rise Up and Heal podcast today. I will absolutely be putting all of Jackie's details with all her links where you'll be able to find her. And once again, just remember you are absolutely worthy. You are never alone. And thank you so much for listening. Much love, Annie.